Hello, and welcome to Do Something, a series where I tell you about all the different ways that you can be of service, whether it's socially or politically, because you know that you have to pitch in. Everybody has to pitch in. I'm very excited about today's guest. She started out her career singing in bands and is the daughter of renowned film director Wes Craven. But she left all of that to be a mom and an activist. I'm talking about Jessica Craven. Yes, that Jessica Craven, who considers herself an organizer and an advocate for the protection of the rights of all individuals, regardless of their race, their gender, or their preferences. And she also considers herself a climate hawk, which we should all be concerned about the climate. And of course, she's not only the author of Daily Actions, Email, Chop Wood, Carry Water. She's created workshops like Activism 101 and Democracy 101 to engage new voters. So today we'll talk to Jessica about the importance of doing something, whatever that is. Hello, Jessica, and welcome
Hello,
to
Joe.
Do
Oh,
Something.
sorry. Hi. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. I will the disclaimer is that Jessica and I have known each other for a number of years. She began or was a part of a group that I belong to called Civic Sundays and has gone on to be wonderful, do huge, great, marvelous things. And I know you're extremely busy, so I'm really grateful that you give us and viewers some of your insights and some of your time. So
Thrilled to be here, honestly.
So thank you. Just, people are like, you are up there, you're in the paragon of activists at the moment, and pe people might be surprised to find out that you flirted with show business a little bit. What was when you were doing your gigs? How did you leave that, which is kind of an ego-centered activity, to doing something like activism, which is like, in a sense, it is, but it's a much more socially motivated action.
That's a great question. I mean, I actually come from a family, so sometimes people know about my dad, who was a filmmaker. He made horror films.
Hmm.
Wonderful guy. Passed away in 2015. But on the other side of my family, my mom and dad divorced when I was 3,
Wow.
and she remarried into the Chapin family. So my step uncle was Harry Chapin, who was a folk singer, Cats in the Cradle, fairly well known in
Yeah.
his time. And my stepfather is Tom Chapin, and they and pretty much everybody in the Chapin family and their sort of giant extended family are very socially active. And my family in general is just very left, very progressive, and very active. So
Hmm.
when I started being like a musician and singing in bands, I don't know, it didn't actually it didn't work for me all that well. I wasn't
Uh-huh.
actually comfortable in that kind of situation. So when I had my kid, I left my band
Hmm.
that I was in with my sisters and just decided I would be a stay-at-home mom. Then Trump got elected when my kid was 5, and an interest in politics that I'd had my entire life kind of morphed into this. Well, I have to do something now.
Hmm. I really like to encourage people to just start anywhere, start with anything. Well, chop wood, carry water is really, I cannot tell you, there is no conversation that I have ever had with any other activist that did not include chop wood, carry water, because people use it as good morning, do my calls, send my emails off to do the rest of the day. It's like brushing your teeth or making your coffee. That's just, you put it so I think that it's an amazing gift to people wanting to get started. So explain to us what the name is briefly, but then also the format of it, of how to tell people what to do.
Right. Well, the name it came from a saying I had learned from my dad. Now, it turns out he got it from the title of a book about Buddhism,
Hmm.
but it's not, the name is not meant to invoke Buddhism. He used it as a little bit of a like, if you're going through a tough time, just chop wood, carry water, and you'll get through it. And so when Trump was elected, and obviously the whole part, half of our nation was going through a tough time, people started asking me, my God, what are we going to do? And I found myself saying that phrase a lot. We're going to chop wood, carry water, and just figure out how to take action and get through this. And the format, I mean, I started out by just sending an email to my husband, my mom, a couple of other people with things I was doing. Then I joined Indivisible and I started learning a whole lot more about being an activist and what that looked like. And I just started sharing what I learned.
Hmm.
Um, and that morphed into the newsletter. I mean, the structure that it has now, it's probably been that way for 4 or 5 years.
I want to tell people about the Sunday edition because it's not just work, 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 work. On
Right.
Sundays, you send out a look at everything we've accomplished newsletter, and it is massive. So it's one of the things that I think is really important for people to understand is that regardless of what it is they do, it's not important what they do. It's that you do it consistently over a period of time. And regardless of whatever the action is, when enough people do it, change is possible. I think one of the things that most frustrates all activists who are putting in the time, they're making sacrifices. And when they come face to face with someone saying, oh no, I don't do politics, oh, I just don't have the time, or any other excuse for still sitting out.
What I try to tell people is it's not just that this is the only way we can actually defeat this thing and move forward and make progress, but it's also that you will feel better.
Right.
This will change your life for the better so profoundly. And it really has, like, for me, it is a way to find joy. It is a way to find community. It is a way to find hope. And when I first started writing the newsletter, I used to have a tagline at the top of every newsletter, hope is an action. Because a lot of times we don't feel hopeful. But
Yeah.
when we start taking action,
Mhm.
we find hope. It generates a feeling of hope.
But also the endorphins you get from being around people who are having fun. I mean, if people are just going, okay, fine, I'll try something. Jessica, what should I try first?
Well, I think that there's a great opportunity right now for people to try to help us win any of like 100, well, okay, maybe not quite that many, but like 50 really important elections happening in a couple 2 weeks. And
Okay.
these elections on November 4th are like existentially important.
Hmm.
If we have a route where we win across the board by huge margins, I actually really think that we will start to see Republicans uh, recalibrate. Here is an easy opportunity. You
Hmm.
have 2 weeks. Even if you just want to reach out to people you know in those states and make sure they know that there is an election. If you know
So
people,
make phone calls or send postcards or
yeah,
emails, personal emails.
yeah, any of those. I mean, we're getting a little late for postcards, but I think
Hmm.
you can still send probably postcards with a few campaigns. There's vote forward letters that there's another week to send.
Hmm.
You can sign up with any number of organizations doing phone banking.
Hmm.
Indivisible, if you live in one of those places, they've got a great campaign called Neighbor to Neighbor. I just signed up for it today. And basically, they give you the addresses of 10 of your neighbors who are registered Democrats so you can knock on their doors and talk to
Right.
them
Now,
about
let
the
me just say something about because that's called canvassing. And I know everybody's going, talk to another human. I can't do it. So I had that fantasy of doing it. And I went up to Trump country back when Andrew Jans was running against Devin
Oh
Nunes.
yeah, I remember that.
And they pair you up with people so you don't go by yourself. It's really a very positive experience. I actually had a lot of fun doing canvassing, and I was terrified to do it at first.
Yeah.
So
Canvassing, yeah, canvassing is actually it is really terrific. The more face to face we are with people, the less mean they're going to be.
if you're going to do anything at all, is vote in primary elections because that is sort of like a sieve. That's where we weed out all the wackos, all the really terrible measures. That is how we get rid of these people. If the only people voting are the ones supporting the nutcases, then the nutcases win. So
Yep.
everybody has to show up. So how can people help you directly in terms of doing something?
Well, I mean, I don't need anything directly, so I
Mhm,
don't need help.
mhm,
You can subscribe to my newsletter if you want. It's free.
mhm.
Um, I feel great when I get new subscribers because that means more people have joined our fight
Right.
stuff. So join an Indivisible chapter and
Mhm.
just help us win any election. I had one friend, and we'll close with this because I know we have to go, but who decided here in where I live near a place called Glendale, California, and there was a school board race there where there were two like neo-Nazis running. And she was like, no one is paying attention to this race, and I'm terrified they're going to win. So she decided to single-handedly keep knocking on doors to make sure that these two good progressive candidates won. And they did win, and they won by a margin of, I don't know, maybe 150 votes each. And she knocked on probably 600, 700 doors.
Yeah.
And you just figure like that one person
One person. What
picked
can one
that
person
school board
do?
race. Yeah,
Yes,
and that's the majority on that school
yes,
board, which means policies that are affecting thousands and tens of thousands of kids
yes.
because of one person saying, I'm going to take ownership of this race.
Yes, as they say, democracy is not a spectator sport.
Yeah,
Everybody's got to participate.
yeah,
Do something,
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Thank you, Jessica, so much. Thank you all for viewing. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I have. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe. See you next time. All the actions that we discussed today with Jessica, texting, calling, writing letters, or postcards, are low to no risk actions. Marching and canvassing are low to low medium risk actions.